We have moderate achievements in fighting poverty. World Bank and other institutions use the term extreme poverty. We discussed earlier setting this minimal income per day. You have to remember that national statistical institutions and bodies use different definitions based on level of economic development and social needs of the community member. There are different data for developed countries, different data for developing countries. So remember, if you hear poverty in the description of the official document, it can mean a different thing in different countries. For example, in Poland, being poor is defined not only by having the means to cover the basic needs, but also they include participation in social life. So, for example, the cost of transport. So there is no extreme poverty in Poland, but our government official statements talk about 14% of the population living in poverty or in danger of poverty. But when we are discussing extreme poverty, we can see that we have some substantial achievements. The percentage of the population living below the line of extreme poverty is going down. It was estimated we started with about 40% of the population, counting more than 2 billion people. Today, we are slightly below 10%. The latest assessment of the World Bank gives us 8.5% of the population. That is roughly around 700 million people living below the extreme poverty line. Poverty is here, reduced, but it's still here. It raises its ugly head whenever there is a war, conflict, or disaster. So it can differ in specific situations. But generally, we went a long way in the last 40 years. So we can say that we had moderate success on the global level. But if we look closer, the situation looks more complicated. There is a substantial achievement in reducing poverty in China and generally East Asia. The China alone took out from extreme poverty 800 million of its inhabitants. It's a great achievement, but at the same time we can see a downside here. Still 700 million people living below the poverty line means in other regions situation is not that good. We have persistence of poverty in sub-Saharan Africa and the mixed results in the other regions. Also, COVID-19 pandemics made poverty indexes rise in 2020 for the first time in 20 years. Situation is especially difficult in sub-Saharan Africa when huge percentage of the population lives in extreme poverty. It's not only unacceptable as a condition for any human being, but it also causes a huge problem for the functioning of the society and the functioning of a state. So poverty there is absolutely crucial problem. Thank you.